Behind the tennis courts at the Wright-Whitaker Sports Complex sits a hidden treasure trove of planted vegetables, gardening equipment, and seeds. UT's very own microfarm. And after 10 years, it's doing more than teaching students to grow zucchini.
The Microfarm was founded in 2012 by a student named Daniela Lewis. She applied for a Green Fee grant. At the time it was called Green Fee, but now it's the Green Fund. And they established a site on Leona Street and kind of east of campus. And it was a smaller site than this. It was about 1/5 of an acre. Now our site is 1/2 of an acre. At first, we just kind of grew vegetables to give to the volunteers. Sometimes we sold them for like a low cost, but really our purpose changed after we moved to this site in 2018. We split our planting season into spring and summer and fall and winter, and we rotate each side of the field for that so that we can, make sure the soil stays healthy and everything. So in the winter, we plant like cauliflower, which is very popular, especially the purple kind. Oh, it's so cool. We do broccoli, chard, lettuce, winter squash, arugula, kale, things like that. And in the summertime, which is my favorite, we get to plant zucchini, which is my favorite thing to grow ever. It's so cool. And it's like my favorite vegetable. And it just looks beautiful. It gets like so big. And squash, tomatoes, which are also awesome, which I love planting tomatoes.
Since the Microfarm has moved to its new site up at the intramural fields, all of the produce has been donated to the on-campus food pantry, UT Outpost. So everything they grow goes there, or sometimes the volunteers may snack along the way as well. For many students who go out to the Microfarm, it is their first time ever being in a garden. Ever digging in the soil, ever seeing what the plant looks like that produces the head of broccoli. So to me, Microfarm is that introduction for a lot of students to even just this idea of growing your own food.
But these past 2 years on the Microfarm haven't been easy.
So at the end of 2019, we had just finished planting everything. It was beautiful, it was gorgeous. And then 2020, we were so excited for our first round of spring planting. And then the week before spring break was our last Microfarm workday until August 2020.
We put in a special request to Rec Sports so that at least I could go out there and harvest the vegetables, because we just felt like during this time of crisis, we shouldn't be letting food rot out in the fields. I was out there every week or so harvesting lettuce and onions and those sorts of things. I was trucking that stuff down to the Central Texas Food Bank so that they could use the vegetables. So it felt really good. I felt really good being able to tell the students, don't worry, your hard work was not wasted. We were able to capture a lot of that produce.
But then after that, all productivity ceased. And we just, it was kind of sad. And when I came back in August, it was just like grass everywhere, nothing happening. It didn't even look like a farm anymore.
Now, the students are back volunteering in earnest. For some, it's the first time they're getting their hands in the dirt and growing their own food.
I think it's really important that students learn where their food comes from, but I think on a personal and individual level, it's really beneficial for people to be able to get their hands in the dirt and plant something and watch the process of it growing. And they can come back week after week and see it, go from a tiny seed or a tiny transplant into something that's edible and beautiful and cool and harvestable. So I think that is all part of the learning process. Maybe this is a little woo-woo, I guess, but it really is kind of mirrors how when students come out here, they've never planted before, they've never gardened, they don't have experience with this, and we're able to provide that space for them to do something that they haven't been able to do before. So we're really excited that we get to bring that to students. And it's really important to me when I bring volunteers out here that they're getting an enriching experience. And it's not just getting 2 hours of volunteering for your org. There's something more to it that maybe they come out of that they didn't. They come out with something more than they expected that they would.
There's something about pulling potatoes out of the ground. I even did that for the first time at the Microfarm. And it's just really exciting. It's hard to describe. Everybody should do it sometime. And I think those are the kinds of moments that the Microfarm provides to students. Just that connection and the joy that is being outside and being with your friends, doing good work, being hands-on. So much of our time is spent sitting behind a computer, even for students. sitting in a classroom. And so to get students outside working together, and the great thing about gardening is is that growth piece, right? Like you get to plant something and then come back a month later and see, a carrot. It's really, really cool experience for anybody, and students included.
I can't really put into words what draws me out here. There's just something to the process of it. There's something to the group of people. There's something to the community that's built through farming. I call it like the microfarm magic. Like people who come out here want to come back. And I feel like it's the place itself that draws you back. You're like, this is so unique. This is special. You can tell that there's something about it that's special.